Welcome to the Network Build Grow podcast, the show where business owners, entrepreneurs, and professionals share their stories, lessons learned, and powerful strategies for building relationships and growing their circle of influence. With Melissa Taylor, your host, each week we'll bring you actionable insights to help you build a better network and a better business. Let's dive in.
Good morning. Welcome to the NBG Podcast. We are here today with Phil Erhardt, a very dear friend of mine for several years now. He is with PW Erhardt Media. I like to tell people that you are not just a videographer. In fact, you are more an editor than a videographer. Tell me a little bit about your journey in entrepreneurship for editing.
So everything started back in 1978.
Oh, just a few years ago.
Just a few years ago. So, I've loved video since high school. We're talking over 50 years. And when I got to Nashville at the TV station there, somebody said, "Hey, would you like to edit promo for a movie?" And I went, "Sure, show me how." And they showed it to me and I fell in love with it. I was editing promos for movies, for television shows. In fact, my biggest success, and it was kind of a funny thing because it's my warped sense of humor. We were running the Muppet Show and I edited a 30-second promo with all dead guest stars.
Lovely.
Yeah. And it ran for 6 months before somebody even got the joke. And that was even funnier. But no, I love to tell a story. I love to have a reason why, just not to shoot a video, just to have a video.
Yeah.
But it's understanding, and we talked about this last week, at your why and the why behind the video to touch that viewer emotionally, intellectually, and then to motivate them to do something. And I've been editing now consistently since 1982, probably a couple of thousand projects. And it's one of those things when somebody gives me something, it's a challenge. It's like building a model kit. Here's the pieces part. This is what I want it to look like. And then you put it together with my own little tilt on it to say, you know what, I think, and this is another thing that AIs are great for editing, and this is what they give you. But I do one thing. I look at it and then go, what if?
Yes, what if? I like that.
What if it's yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I know that you work with a lot of business owners and entrepreneurs, and we talk about them telling their why they do what they do, how it's different, and really getting that story out there. Is that your favorite type of video and customer to work with, client to work with?
I love the entrepreneurial spirit.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking with a gentleman the other day about working on a corporate piece, and he was giving me all the corporate hoo-ha and all this other stuff. And I went, yeah, that's another reason I'm not in corporate.
Yeah.
You know, some of the silly things that corporate to do. I spent 9 years with, in a retail sabbatical for Sprint. And to see some of the idiocies they did were just like, okay, now I know why I want to be an entrepreneur, why I want to work for myself, why my brother worked for himself, why my sister worked for themselves.
And why you like working with those types of people.
I love working with those type of people. Yeah.
Yeah. And I know you also work with some nonprofits getting their story out.
Yeah.
Which I think is wonderful.
It's, it is a blessing. And many of our listeners and people know at NBG that, my faith plays a very strong part in my business and in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because I figure, God gave me this gift, right? I'm getting ready to celebrate my last year in my 60s.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Yep. And it's like for a man of 69 years old who had a 9-year break in video production, nothing doing, to sit back and pick this back up in a matter of hours is only that's supernatural. And, I give thanks to God and doing nonprofits. I do a lot of, some work pro bono for some nonprofits. I do it in trade. And, because scripturally it says a man should be paid for his work. But, I'm In fact, I'm getting ready to do some work for the Christian Chamber of Commerce.
That's wonderful. I love that. I love that. I love the Christian Chamber of Commerce. That kind of segues right into networking.
Mhm.
So I know you've been a big part of Network Build Grow. You do all of our videos, which we love and appreciate so much. But what do you look for when you're out networking? What is your kind of mindset around networking for your business?
I look at networking for not necessarily for only my business, but for their business. How can I pour into your business?
Mm-hmm.
Because if I believe I approach networking with a seek to serve attitude,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel if I can pour into your business, then you'll definitely pour into mine.
Yeah.
And so walking up to somebody, my wife is amazed that sometimes I just sit down and start talking with people. We were in the mall one time. We were in the mall one time at Christmas, and I'm sitting there talking to this guy, and my wife comes out of Body Works because I can't go in there because it messes with my sinuses. And when my wife comes out and she sees me talking with this guy and we're laughing and everything, carrying on. He goes, "Well, here's my wife." I said, "Yeah, here's my wife." We walk out, we're slapping back. "See you later, brother James. See you later, brother Phil." And so my wife goes, "Who is that?" I said, "James." "Where do you know him from?" "The bench."
The bench.
So,
love
I
that.
mean, just walking up to somebody and saying, "Hi, I'm Phil Erhardt. What is it that you do?"
Yeah. Yeah. And I know that you often say, "Why do you love what you do?" or something to that effect when you're
Yeah.
talking to people. I've heard you do that before, trying to
What,
get to their
what,
understanding them.
what gets you out of bed every morning?
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I love
Uh-huh.
that. So with that in mind, I know you go to a couple of different networking groups. I know you're part of CBMC. Obviously, you're doing some stuff with the Christian Chamber. I think you do some stuff with Charlotte Area Chamber, Network Build Grow. How many is too many groups for people, especially people just getting into the concept of networking for their business? What's too many? How do you get involved? What's your best advice?
My best advice is find a group that's family. Find a group that, um, I've been to a couple of groups, like other groups outside those, and it just didn't feel, I just didn't get the vibe in there, the feel like this is family. This is, and Network Build Grow, I've always said, well, I always tell, welcome new members, welcome to the family, because we're not only business owners, business people, we also care about each other.
Mm-hmm.
And I just, the vibe of some groups are more make a buck, make me a buck, I'll make you a buck, and
Yeah.
less about the relationship. So,
Yeah.
Charlotte Area Chamber is like that. They focus on growing the businesses. And I know I've known Jessica and Michael probably about 10 years now.
Mm-hmm.
When
That's
they were
a great
first.
group.
Oh yeah,
Group. I'm a member there too. Yeah.
So,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah.
how many is too many? It's you've got to limit it, and I say budget your time,
Mm-hmm.
because that's a billable hour that you're taking, or 2 hours, or 4 hours. That's and here's one other thing people don't remember. Well, it's just a 2-hour meeting, but how long does it take to get there?
Right. And follow up with people after you leave.
Right, and after you leave it. So networking is, it's like you're farming, and you got to plow that field, and it's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work. Yeah, it's a lot of work, but it's fun. It can be fun depending on how you look at it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is fun.
Yeah, that's why I always say it's a contact sport, because it's a sport. Sports are fun. So it's a good time. So when you go out networking and you're building your business and you're meeting what we call strategic business alliances and things like that, what's in the back of your mind as far as like the legacy that you want to leave with that group, the legacy that you want to make, the impression you want to make on those people that are there?
Are you talking about a client, my clients, or networking, or
just in general, the people? Yeah, when you're
my
networking.
legacy. It's funny. I've never really even thought about that. About what do I want to leave behind? I want to leave behind with every client, with every interaction that, I care more about them than I care about me. And that's, that I guess that's kind of the point I want to make is that, yeah, I'm here to serve you. And, I want to do my absolute best or just not do it at all.
Yeah, I love that. And you do your absolute best. I love how you have on your thing there, chief creative caretaker. And when you are doing somebody's videos, you do.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I figured the Lord gave me this garden, in scripture, Lord said to, Adam, he showed him, he says, okay, here's the earth, go mow the grass. People don't remember work was blessed by the Lord before the fall. And that's why I say I'm his caretaker of this garden. He gave me this garden and I said, I gotta take it.
Yeah. And I know that you work with some of our speakers. So I know you do a lot of speaker reels.
I'm doing one right now.
You're doing one right now. Great. And one of the things that you do is you take really good care of people. I've noticed when you work with someone, you really try to get to the essence of what they're trying to say in the video to make it as best as we possibly can. What are some tips that you have for people out there that are, maybe trying to do a little bit of video on their own, or they're doing some reels, or they're doing some little shorts for YouTube or social media? What's kind of your best editor's advice?
Be yourself. First and foremost, don't act. If you're going to act well. Okay. If you're going to do shtick, then do it well. But most importantly, and Melissa, you talk about this, about the people have to believe you, that you're going to do what you're going to do. And that's the thing is it's just be yourself. And as far as the effects go, effects are nice. That's kind of like the, adding the salt and pepper to your meal. Too much. And it's terrible.
Too much. Too much is too much.
Too much. But be yourself, be real, be authentic, show up authentic. And that's even if you're doing a short or or an explainer or anything.
Yeah. And I know that you have that. I think you say before you even turn the camera on, understand what you want them to know, what you want them to feel, what you want to do, feel, think, and do, right?
Yeah. Feel, think, and do. So think about this. We buy with emotion, right?
Mm-hmm.
You ever go to the grocery store hungry?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. 65% of grocery shopping, I read this years ago, is impulse.
Right.
So you want to make that emotional connection, then you want to make that intellectual connection. That's Melissa, to your spot, that's the belief that you can do what you're going to do. You're going to deliver the promise. And then you want that, call me now, operator standing by. You give them a definitive path of action.
Yeah. And I find that a lot of people's videos give more than one action, and then I just get confused.
Yeah. And they also try to do too much in one video. That's another thing. Be myopic in your topic. Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
That came out of being myopic in your topic. So, like that. Thank you, Lord. No, it's one of these things. You get these videos, and it's like by the end of the video, it's like, what do they do? They do this. Focus on one thing, because that's pretty much the human mind and attention. Say what you got to say in 10 seconds, or else I'm gone.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Wonderful. Okay. Let's have some fun with some rapid fire questions for you about networking specifically. Just kind of the first thing that pops into your mind.
Okay.
When you're attending an event, do you aim for quality or quantity of new connections, and why?
I like quantity because the more people I know, the better for my resources. Mm-hmm. And the people that know me, that's a referral partner.
Yeah. So then if it's quantity and you go and you get a bunch of business cards, you meet a bunch of people, obviously that's not going to do anything for you. So how do you then take that next step to make sure to add the quality on top of the quantity?
So the qualities of in the back end is connecting with them. Hey, I know you probably met about 50 other people today. And I kind of do it in a little comedic way, I'm the short, fat old guy that does video. And it's something they'll look at that and they go, self-deprecation is it can be a benefit because it puts a little picture in their mind.
Yeah. Breaks the ice a little bit. Yeah.
Yep.
I love that.
So the follow-up is important. And that's just a quick, hey, thanks for, talking with me, short little fat guy that does video. Call me. Call 1-800 operator standing by.
Operator standing by. So
how do you track midnight tonight because I'm going to go to bed.
How do you track all of that? I mean, if you go to an event and you meet 20 people, you obviously have to follow up with them more than one time. So how do you track that?
What is interesting is I use Outlook. So I use a lot of the follow-ups where they automatically come up and say, hey, follow it. Hey, get this. And I'm very selective in that. Okay. As that I just have just so much time because I like doing this and I hate doing the back end, but, so I'm very selective. So if you came to me and you said, hey, I'm interested, you do video. And this actually happened to me, with the, Math and Science Academy at the Chamber Coffee. He said, oh, you do video. I want your card. We're going to do something. Great. So for about 3 months, I would, ding, 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 send them, not 3 months, 3 weeks. I would do ding, 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 ding. And then I'd wait a month and hit them again. And then I kind of slacked off. Okay. Yeah. Just like, okay, you're back there. I didn't delete them or anything else. You're back there. I put them, I think maybe a 6-month follow-up. Before that 6 months came up, I got a phone call. We're ready to do something.
Perfect.
So here's a tip. When somebody reaches out to you and says, hey, I'm interested in, or I'm following up with you, even if you're not going to do anything, just say, thanks, not ready yet.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
I get that sometimes.
I get that all the time. It's like, I have a client right now. I've sent him a contract. I've sent him an invoice and I'm saying, I'm ready to move forward. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We need it by the end of July. Yeah. Well, here it is, July coming up in the middle of July.
Yeah. I can't work miracles with 2 days.
If you're not going to work with me, please don't waste my time.
Yeah. But on that note, I mean, I have story after story of me just diligently following up with people and someone turning into a client months later. Months later.
Yeah. These are beyond prospect. These are, I gave them the quote. Looks good. Let's move ahead. Send them the contract, sign the contract, pay my deposit, and I'll start working for you.
Yeah. It's crazy. Amazing. Yeah. Okay. Next question.
Sure.
What is a really good tip that you have for people when they go to a networking event? They don't really know very many people. What's something they can do other than say, so what do you do? Or how's the weather? Or boy, traffic was bad getting here. What's a good conversation starter?
I would, first thing pops in my mind, walk the room and listen. Just listen to what's going on. Listen to the chatter. You'll hear something that will probably pique your interest. Mm-hmm. And then if it's kind of not a heavy conversation or anything, just say, hey, mind if what you're telling me is interesting. Mind if I join you guys? That's fascinating. I want to know more. And it's kind of like, especially for introverts, it's very difficult for them to jump in. But if they have if you have a point of reference and a common point of reference, that'll,
so just listening for those cues.
It's an icebreaker. That's the words I was thinking. Icebreaker.
Yeah. Listening for those cues is a really good thing. Okay. One last question for you. What's your favorite thing to do to stay top of mind with people that are in your network, whether they've used you before, referred you before, or just have met you? What's some fun things you do to stay top of mind?
To keep me top of mind, sometimes I'll just call them out of the blue and just say, hey, was thinking about you. Yeah. And I mean, and I'm honest about that. If I did that the other day. I called somebody I hadn't talked to in probably 3-4 months. And I said, hey, I was thinking about you today. wow, that's nice. And we had a nice little chat. No work,
That's great.
but
Yeah.
you know what? That's okay.
Yeah, that's okay. Just top of mind. That's
Uh-huh.
great.
Yep.
Wonderful. Well, we love having you part of Network Build Grow. You're actually one of our sponsors for video, and we love having that. I think you've been with us since we started back in like 2020 or something.
Yeah. You started Network Build Grow January 1st, 2020.
Yeah. I just love it. I love it. We actually had a free group before then, and we started the actual paid membership in 2020. I love that. So thank you so much for being. Yeah, exactly. All right, Phil. Well, I will see you very soon. And thanks again for taking some time today.
You're welcome. Thank you for the opportunity, Melissa. Take care.
Absolutely.
Thanks for tuning into this episode of the Network Build Grow podcast. If you enjoyed today's conversation, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with a fellow entrepreneur or professional. And of course, if you're not yet part of our community, visit networkbuildgrow.com to connect with us. Until next time, keep building and keep growing.